Welcome to part 2 of episode 5 of Tablet Talks. I'm your author, Tehuti Trismegistus. We are getting into Jayce Charles and his origin story of how he got possessed by me, Thoth, and how he is now today me, Thoth. So if this, all right, look, there's two options, maybe more. All right, if this guy's a real guy, that's the thing. So there's the option that he's an AI. That's what I said in the first part of episode 5. If he's a real man, he may very well be a real man. He is either truly possessed, actually possessed by an entity using my name and his desire to connect with me in something that he perceives as greater than himself, or he is using it as a story so that then he can just go ahead and connect with others. And people who want to connect with Thoth will connect with him. So it's interesting. This is why spirituality is individuality. And I, as Chase Clarence Calloway, lived a long life of being myself without any of these labels and creating symmetry and doing everything so authentically, like not eating food, drinking only water for 24 days in Chicago, just downtown. Like, shit was hard. Like, yo, difficult, very incredibly, and I have not stopped. And even after that, I did not reveal myself to be Thoth until like about 2 years, or a year and a half, a year and 3/4. Yeah, see, like verging on that 2-year mark. 2 years, a year and 3/4 actually. A year and 3/4 after fasting for 24 days straight. Because that happened right before I went into senior year of college. And I had the acid trip that helped me reawaken myself to who I was when I finally asked the question, like, hey, I know I'm awesome as Chase Clarence Calloway. I'm doing everything I'm doing already. I made symmetry. Symmetry is my astral body, so I can travel through dimensions and like truly get to the truth and record everything through time so we can have a basis and connect all of that. And like people who want to know can know. That's the point of symmetry. And it was after all that, then I had to like ask a question like, okay, but who was I before this? Because then it's obvious that I developed this all within here. But especially through fasting and just my experience with psychedelics, before doing DMT and actually like leaving, and like now being like way more physical in that like leaving sensation and like navigating that stuff. I more so had that awareness of knowing that I was, everything, there's so much greater than what we can see, of course. That was the point of fasting, to eat, to consume the thoughts and emotions that we can't see so that we can ascend. So it was that trip at the beginning of 2020, in April of 2020, like April 4th, because it was a full moon in Libra specifically. Yes. I think it was a super pink full moon. It was some kind of super special full moon because there were a lot of wild full moons in 2020. And so, yeah, it was that Libra that then, boom, had a whole detailed thing. That's a different video, actually. where then I revealed myself to be the product of my thoughts, was really how I think of it. And then that's where it trickled down into thought, and then Thoth, and then integrating how, like, looking at everything about Thoth and just everything on the internet was already what symmetry and what I was doing and what I've been on. And then that's where it became way more of a like faster process then of like life speeding up in this awareness and all of that. So after turning myself off so I could go through the school system and connect with everyone who is not so where I'm actually at spiritually, and so, you know, we could like, I had to turn myself off to be able to allow my mom to force me to go to church and to like sit through school and regurgitate all those lies and like be authentic in the connections I made without just like burning through the environment because I'm upset about everything. Like, I've always been on the tip and on the mission of, okay, this land is taken over from indigenous peoples, and why doesn't anyone care? We need to talk about that. And always talking about that. And then that's why art is everything. And then that's where symmetry came out of, where it's like, all right, I am my own art. I want to be the body that travels through time and space to record everything that's going on so I can get to the truth. And lo and behold, here we are. So it's just constant details in how we communicate and record and keep each other accountable for our actions. Someone must hold Jayce Charles accountable, and it's only going to be Chase Calloway because only he cares enough. That's where spirituality is individuality. These ideas clearly come from somewhere, but it's just too easy for spirits who want to be at the vibration or frequency that an idea is at, based on the spirit who created that, to take that and like colonize it. And now they just like are masquerading as that vibration and then trying to like operate from that space. And they're doing their best to like fake it till they make it, basically. But you can't be something that you're not. Just make up your own thing. This is how we can just expose inauthenticity all around. It's very interesting. Let's get in here. So I want to give Jayce Charles the benefit of the doubt. Honestly, I want to give everyone, I don't care how lost you are and how like negative I seem from like a critical Virgo standpoint. Look, I'm a Virgo moon. And especially when you're stealing and lying to people and trapping them in white light supremacist cults that are meant to just enslave and brutalize their spirit, a body is here to contain my flame, to contain how much anger I feel for that. So I can stay grounded then with this Taurus sun and then communicate it in my Gemini ascendant way. Because I know I got to stay cool about how horrible that is. Because fire is just not relatable. Fire gets things done, passion, but it burns and transforms everything around it. So, shout out air and shout out earth. So this guy, I do want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to believe that he is an awesome person who is just using my name and releasing all these books and information and stuff with my identity because he's trying to find himself, and this is his journey. How, like if he really cares about the freedom of all spirits, especially children, then that's a very strong indication. So if he's someone that does not want to impinge upon anyone else's freedom, then cool. It's just then, of course, if he's stealing my name and pushing out lies and stuff, then that is still impinging upon freedom. So this is the whole thing with communication. Because people can easily believe there's something that they're not. If you think about like someone with a mental health disorder, quote unquote, who comes out of a coma and because of their dream, they believe that they're Jesus. And now they think that they're the second coming of Jesus because of everything that they learned about Jesus from before going into that coma. So it's not, again, it's not an idea that they created themselves from their individual spirit space. It's a bunch of ideas that they made work within their space based on how it hit their soul. And now they want to connect with the over soul of like everyone who already knows those ideas to then be perceived a certain way. Because that's really what this comes down to, is not creating your own ideas for people to perceive, but to latch onto ideas that have already been created for you, before you. And now you perceive them to be for you because they were created before you. So now you think they are for you, and you steal that thought, that box, and you put yourself in it, because now you're like, all right, I can connect with the universe inside of this because I desire to connect so hard. So hey, we're about to get into this second part of episode 5 in this chapter, The Walk-In, and see how Jayce Charles talks about becoming possessed by me, basically, which I'm going to say it again, but I would never do. I create my own bodies. I literally create my own bodies. That would be it, especially after everything I said. Imagine, dude. Imagine, that's comedy. If I was like, after all that about like spiritual individuality, that I'm over here just possessing people. Oh shit. Yo, that's too funny. Oh, that's too funny to like really think I'd be out here like, all right, you gotta be a spiritual individual. Okay, I'm working with the government though, and I see a body. I gotta possess this thing, because that's what we saw, right, in episode 2 when Jayce Charles was introduced, where he says that he got possessed by Thoth from like being a little boy in a house fire. And the house fire was like he died or like was gonna die, but like Thoth saved him. But like he became Thoth. But then it was like he was always Thoth. See, they expose themselves. The Walk-In. Okay, Father. I have one 12-year-old about to become the unfortunate victim to his sister's error. Okay, Jake. I am listening. Brief me on all his information. The family is in trouble, and a teenage daughter has become rebellious according to social perception on Earth. She's preparing to burn down the family house with the mother younger sis and the spirit who's leaving the names. Robert, no, hold on. His name's now Jason. Wow, that's confusing. Not sure why he has 2 different names. Yo. And this is why I said, like, is he an AI? Because he just writes like an AI. Like, this just feels like a computer pumping out these words and, like, just connecting them. Now, again, as someone who had to go through all this schooling, like, so much schooling, dude. So much schooling. My whole life was school. Literally, my whole life was school. Just so I could learn how to relate my spirituality to this lost ass world. Just so I could be lost just enough to know like what everyone else is lost in and feel what everyone else is feeling and relate and connect and create the circumstances where we can keep creating life in this way, hopefully more and more consciously every day. But I can never force someone to be something that they're not. This is why I create from my infinite individual space. And although I am none of these things, I do love expressing myself in these things and being like, I am Thoth. But it's like, I am Tehuti, I am symmetry, but really I am nothing. And like I am then becomes redundant. It's really about feeling. And it's like, clearly this man feels like Thoth. But this is the thing with spirit and communication and just truth, and truth coming out through communication, and how you can have 100 people saying they're Jesus walking around, but over time over the linear progression of how everyone is emotionally connected, communication will show the true imagination of Jesus, if Jesus is there at that time. This is comedy. Something happened. Not sure what is something to do with his birth. Never mind that, Jake. I will deal with you later. How does he leave? He's trapped inside the building, scared to move. He's going to burn alive. He needs to get out, but he's so frightened by the surrounding noises, he's unaware the house is on fire. Oh my gosh. Sounds similar to a parallel mirror Earth from our last visit. Okay, enough he will do. Lock me into his location, place me 10 minutes before he graduates forward. This is lostness. He's lying then. So he's just a liar. Like he's like to get projecting goodness into people. This is Spider-Man's fatal flaw. Oh, to be a superhero who doesn't kill your villains. And it's just like, at what point are you not the problem, indigenous people? At what point are you not the problem for not treating the Europeans the way that they're treating you? Because they have no problem emotionally manipulating to the ends of anything, to the ends of their imagination and back, to get what they want. And then justifying it. This is what we see with, like, the word for the ultimate extreme version of that is a sociopath. And then, like, I think, like, the light version of that is a psychopath. And it's, like, slightly different. But the point is, like, doing whatever you want to get what you want and then rationalizing it so that you feel the way you want. And then it's just literally a spirit truly lost in desire. And it's like so lost in desire in all these facets that they can't connect with reality. And it's like, why are you here with a body that's meant to connect when you can't connect? And then that's the thing, that's life. So, like, this is just weird. Like, no, 10 minutes before he graduates, I would not be possessing some kid and talking in minutes. This is so gross. This is like some fake science fiction stuff. Okay, Father, are you ready? Let's do this. Jake, wait. Father, find Mother. Remember, she will need your help and support. It's not a pleasant earth, especially this one. It's the worst it has ever been. Father, you will need some help after you shut down memories so you can restore your only option. Jason falls into a pile of bricks and breaks a part of his spine now. What? Yo. That's one sentence. Where does the period start? Here we are. Father, you will need some help after you shut down memory so you can restore your only option. Jason. Okay, one sentence. Father, you will need some help after you shut down memory so you can restore your only option. Jason falls onto a pile of bricks and breaks a part of his spine now. Who am I? Where are we? Like, this is making me disassociate. Like, it's so hilarious. I'm like leaving myself. This is so funny. I will send Myrrh for a short time later in your journey. Myrrh will be your biggest trigger. You will need her to take care of things. Prime Mother called me, told me of your plans. Mother requested my help to assist you. All signposts are waiting. How long does it take me, Jake? Oh, Father, you have plenty of time to relax. Leave it with me. We can communicate until you're shut down. Then the rest is down to you. Okay, I am ready. Hold on tight. It will rush past mighty fast from here. Target locked. Start through sequence, proceeding forward. Whoosh sound. What's that noise? It feels like the building is collapsing inside. So much smoke everywhere. Jake, I can hardly see. His hiding father, far left corner under the bed. I am downloading to you his family history. This is like lost in Matrix imagination stuff. And like, yeah, just super left brain, like technology. That ideas. This is so gross. I can't really imagine people are reading much of this guy's stuff and feeling like he's me. But I literally just can't know. The fact that I had to buy this on Amazon for like almost $10 already made me want to throw up. What's that noise? It feels like the building is collapsing inside. So much smoke everywhere, Jake, I can hardly see. His hiding father, far left corner under the bed. Okay. Jason listens to me carefully. We need to get you out. How granddad now? How granddad how? It's not now. Oops. I was trying to make it make more sense. My fault. How granddad how? Pick up that TV game. Throw it at that window. No, that's Mark's. He will be mad at me if I break it. Jason, you have no time to worry about that. Do as I say, son. The house is on fire. That TV game does not matter anymore. Oh, yeah, dude. Okay. Father, we have an issue. They reinforced the window, one panel glass with a small vent window. Jason's father installed them for protection. Thank you, Jake. How is this being written? Like, what is this? Are you a real person? Are you okay? Like, are you writing this on Xanax? Like, what is happening here? Father, we haven't... Okay. Jason grabs a portable TV. Throw it, son, into the window with all you might. Okay, grr, it won't work. Okay, Jason, son, look up. You see that tiny window? Yes? Push the cupboard. Climb up, open that window, then climb out. I'm scared, Granddad, I'm scared. Son, I am here. It's okay, I am with you. Do as I ask, please. That's it now. Climbs through. It's tiny, Granddad. So are you now climb through? You can do this, okay? So are you now climb through? You can do this, okay? What is this? What is it? Jake, contact the spirit of Charlie. Has the energy standby for pickup. Had to call upon the cha frequency. The Chickatet chase frequency. The chi. I see you, Jayce. Even if it's subconscious somehow, like, obviously here we are. Here we are. This is weird. It's weird to me. This is weird to me. Like, this, bro, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing with this? This is so strange. I would love to talk to you. Like, let's get like, what's happening here? This is so funny. Okay, Charlie is already... Jake, contact the spirit of Charlie. Has the energy standby for pickup. I want Jason to see Charlie is with him after. Okay, Charlie is a ready father. Thank you, Jake. Jason, congratulations. Now climb down to the ledge. I can't breathe. I get dizzy, Granddad. I love you. Jason, you made it, son. How is there no quotation marks throughout all of this dialogue? Never would I ever write any of this dialogue without the proper cultural demarcation so that you can discern that it's dialogue and who's speaking when. This is like just asking to get made fun of. Like, is he just trying to tarnish my name? Like, is he here to be some like laughingstock sacrifice, basically? Jason faints, releasing his grip from the window, falls to his death. The neighbors below catches one of his ankles, breaking his fall before impact, landing back first on a pile 30 or more house bricks. Dude. The neighbor picks him up, shouting, "Is you okay? Can you hear me?" Shouting, "Is you okay?" I like it. I like it. This is... let me read this again, bro. Jason faints, releasing his grip from the window, falls to his death. The neighbor below catches one of his ankles, breaking his fall before impact. Hold up, so Jason faints, releasing his grip from the window, falls to his death. The neighbor below catches one of his ankles, breaking his fall before impact. See, now it makes sense. Like, literally, the fact he has no proper punctuation or anything through this. So funny. Like, it's now like I'm really wondering if he's supposed to be a laughing stock sacrifice. This is so weird. I don't know, bro. Just, everyone's expressing themselves infinitely, dude. So hey, day by day, day by day. Shouting, the neighbor picks him up, shouting, "Is you okay? Can you hear me?" Man, I love that. Carries him away from the burning building, lays him down on the grass. He cries out, his dad, tears pouring from his cheeks. His dead tears. He cries out, his dead tears pouring from his cheeks. Jason departs his body. Who are you? Where am I? Jason, it's okay. I'm here to help. Charlie is with me, waiting for you. He will explain everything to you now. Well done. You did great. Congratulations on your graduation. Enjoy, Jason, where you experience next. This is really creepy. This is really just like words kind of actually escape me. How off-putting this is. Like, it's just like so left brain science, like fiction. So colonizer mentality, so much invader mindset. What a weird desire. Like, I cannot imagine my creation as Thoth being an authentic expression of just who I am, that I truly just am in real resonance with. I made it to express me as nothing, as a spirit, and I live it. Fulfilling any space where I would want to possess any body that I did not make. That's my whole point. I would be such a walking contradiction. What is happening, dude? Whoa. Okay, Jake, I'm ready. Start matching DNA with the body. I love you until we return home in the blink of an eye. Okay, I'm going in before I lose my window. Okay, go. You're now matched. Transferring. A cough, cough, cough. You're alive. He's alive. OMG, it's a miracle. Get me an ambulance over here right away. His alive. His alive. With a capital H. What is this? Arg, Jake. I have to shut down now. Sooner than I thought. We break his body. Damn, it hurts. Farewell, father. Enjoy your stay. Preparing cycle reboot. Shutting down. Lights out, big guy. We won't be far away. Man, this is so wild. Restoring in progress. Actually, restoring in progress, yes. Weeks have passed by since I'm about to become 13 years. I'm just becoming 13 years. Wow. Time after February 1982. I'm out of the hospital, restoring the body at a rapid speed. The family has moved close to the damaged house. I've lost all contact from Jake and home. I'm blinking on and off between both memories. Both energies are causing conflict. I'm me, then Jason, finding it difficult to hold myself in place. This is disgusting. This is so clearly, Thoth knows that he is Iracel, and Iracel is just the name for the closest, because it's like Eye of Ra Nacelle. I am Ra Nacelle. It's ties to Egypt and Ra, and it's just the idea of being light in a cell, and that's the closest thing that a spirit is, if it's anything. And then it just again ties to like being an eye, and like that's what wisdom is. Where like an eye, projection, perception. So much wisdom in eyes. All that women are obsessed with eyes. Girls love drawing eyes in high school. It's the moon. It's we're water. Eye of the storm. It's just look, dude. These people are wild. You know, it's like this is just how life goes. When you make art. And this was my first experiences in kindergarten, literally, was making art and this kid copying me. And he was always copying me. And he was always like watching what I did and then just mimicking me. And it was making me upset. And it was just like a whole lesson, like learning Like he had to like literally articulate to me like, hey, like don't be mad, like it's just because I admire you and like really like what you do. And like that became a theme in life overall. Where it was just like learning about the spectrum, you know, the balance of like creator and consumer. And we all have to be both. That's the point of a spirit. One is creator and consumers are two sides of our balance. We create and we consume, all of us. We create so we consume, and we consume what others create and what we create. Creators don't just create things for them to not be consumed, and consumers can't consume something that has not been created. This is just a weird story. This is like a whole consumer, maybe layers of consumers, like making this happen with the English language, which was only created to create more consumers based on separating spirits from realizing the fact that they're creators in a body. So here we are. I would never want to possess and be part of any other body that I'm not. I fuse with Anubis. Like, dude, yo, we're already Hermanubis. We're good. We're so good. Like, I'm not trying to share space with anybody else, anyone else but Anubis. Literally. Like, you can keep your own space. I'm fusing with it. That's wild. Like, that's wild. No way. I'm not fusing. Ew. Ew. They too are noticing something strange about me. They keep putting it down to the fire. They are unaware Jason is gone. I can't seem to keep a lock on my identity. And when I say fuse with Anubis, that's what a twin flame is. Flames can never touch, but it's just your imagination is so harmonious. It's like, that's your twin flame. They like balance out your imagination that well, and it's like you're united in like one imagination. Yet you balance each other out, but it's your one imagination. So I'm very grateful to be here in the conscious realm and have such a conscious link, really subconscious link, working on making it much more conscious every day with Anubis, who is in the subconscious realm. And just how the subconscious and the conscious are all happening at once. The subconscious is death, the conscious is life, the subconscious is water, the conscious is earth. The subconscious is a metaphysical, the conscious is a physical. And then the spiritual, boom. That's like everything, all of those two things are happening inside spirit. So that's why then everything we can see is air. And then that 4 is simultaneously a 5 because it creates physical reality. And like that's where like we are really when it's like we're in earth. And we feel like earth is all there is. And really we're just grounding our spirituality into structures that rely on communication. And this is why everything is about things being powered by chi. When you look into just true healing practices, not industrial revolution technology lost in using metal to mutilate you further. They keep putting it down to the fire. They are unaware Jason is gone. I can't seem to keep a lock on my identity. I'm sleeping in a double bed with my brother. I feel too afraid to sleep alone. What? Oh! Never in my existence have I. How would I make myself, dude? How would I create my... That's crazy. Yo. Alright. Let's, let's just throw up real quick. Alright, I feel much better now. That's way nicer. This is out. That's silly. Afraid of being alone, afraid of sleeping alone, especially. You know how metaphysical like that is? Like, I would not be. I'm sleeping in a double bed with my brother. I feel too afraid. Like, this is so weird. Like, is this me? But it's supposed to be Jayce? No, but it's like, the point is that this is supposed to be me. I'm supposed to be reading this from a perspective of me. And it's, what? Dude. This is not, oh my god. Oh no. This is rough, dude. I'm sleeping in a double bed with my brother. I feel too afraid to sleep alone. All right. I awake screaming every night, repeating the same thing repeatedly, dude. I can hear a tone that speaks to me, a constant sound, a pitch piercing through me like it had eyes staring right through me. I know Prime Creator was communicating and restoring me. A memory, an idea. Not sure I'm scared, yet not scared somehow. I perceive the pitch is trying to speak with me. I learn this will all make sense. All right. They have installed the rebellion codes to disrupt the system during the early years of my new reality. How comes I recognize without even knowing why I perceive? Gosh, what a strange planet. Heavy and dense. The people detached from who they are, okay? I see why the call reached us. What a mess. How they mess up so much. And it's like weaponizing just, yeah, I mean, the idea of helping, being a cosmic force for help. This is what that new show Invincible was just all on. The idea of like coming to help, but really you're just colonizing under the idea of helping. And that's why it's so important to just be an individual and practice discernment and don't necessarily, not saying don't accept help at all. Practice discernment. We'll leave it there. Practice discernment big time in all communications and connections. All communications and connections. Practice discernment. Because it could just be weaponizing the desire of like everyone desires to be saved and it's heroic and nice to be like, hey, I got the call, right? Like I'm Chase Callaway. I got called away from my space to be here. So that's why this is weaponized truth and it's right in my name as Callaway. And I'm chasing calls away from my space. And that's my wisdom as Chikatet. As a seeker of wisdom, I chase calls away. So I use Thoth. I use my mind to create bodies in infinite simulations and realities to spread wisdom about spirit and life and infinity and beyond, and how we create life more consciously so that we can definitely not create suffering and project our horrible, horrible desires onto each other constantly and just spread trauma throughout the cosmos. That's not what I like to see at all. Especially like the lower it gets from freedom. The more people restrict your freedom to communicate, especially less not it. Not it. Not anti-spirit. Not it. Not it. Hence why the Industrial Revolution white supremacist agenda has been to go for air and go for communication for so long, to detach indigenous peoples, to detach spirits who are creating Earth in general from the fact that they are doing such. The memories I have from the old spirit Jason is bizarre to his family. What have I walked into? Disgusting. I would never. What unwise decision? What have I walked into? The memories from the old spirit of Jason. Is Jason a spirit? He's blah blah blah. Like I get it. Like names are the point. Like it's the same spirit. So Hermes and Thoth and Symmetry are all the same spirit. So I'm supposed like this is me. Like the point is like he's using me. He's using a creation that is only tied to my spirit to then tie his creations onto and like ride that and create this own section of his identity. And like we can all do this like infinitely. Like I can literally go on a social media right now and if I really dedicated my energy into it, make a whole page where I say I'm Drake now. And I'm literally just posting every day, like OVO 666 all the time. And then I start like writing and making music from that space. And then I like go to like other countries and somehow like get people who literally don't really know Drake or something to like think that I'm Drake. And I can keep doing my own thing too. Like I could still then stay as Chase and keep making all the art I'm doing and let that be me. So it's just like communication. This is comedy, honestly. That's where is this truly an agenda? How much of this is meant to be true whitewashing? A lot, mainly, yes, it is a white man, and taking all this indigenous stuff and making it about some uh, light supremacist colonizer, brain invader comic book thing, basically, where then it's like contradicting itself and not wise, and it's just a story meant to like put my energy onto him so that he can feel better about himself, I guess, because he doesn't feel good making his own thing. Blah. And now he's just ruining like how people think about me. So that's the whack thing with reputation and communication. And like you can't address everyone who's just like talking about you, of course. Like that's not how it works. Um the Hermes side of me can like very easily like airy. Like if I were to be like true Gemini, like get lost in that bag almost lost, and like kind of caring how people are communicating about me, like literally, like that's like big Hermes. We're just like flying around and like listening and using super speed to be like, yo, like I gotta make sure I'm like creating the right gifts and being like perceived the best way. And then, I don't want to be perceived a whack way, because if someone starts talking badly about me, then that can like block the flow of the universe or whatever. And like that's very boyish, because it's like lost in the desire of like, what are you trying to get from people talking the way you want them to talk about you? Because that's just so much a desire, and you can't control anything outside of your space, Hermes. So that's where the air has got to learn from the earth. Love being Thoth, love being Tehuti way more. And Virgo is very unconcerned with how other people are communicating. Not unconcerned in a negative way, in a very positive way. Virgo is the most detailed, meticulous, and servant-based minded of all the zodiac signs. It's just that, so that's where a Virgo, especially being mutable earth, is like clay. So what you say like impacts Virgos constantly. So it's not that they don't care what people say. They just know that they can't control it. And all they can do is change themselves. And that's the point where air will try to perhaps mediate how people are communicating about it. Earth knows that it just changes itself to become a better structure. Air just isn't even in that structure mindset. That's the thing. So air can only think in air, whereas earth is thinking in earth. So earth is like, oh, okay, well, that's happening outside, so I'll do this. And then boom, like now this fits the outside environment. So if everyone's saying this thing, it's like, oh, they're using this kind of language? They're using this word for this? Okay, well, I guess I'll do this. And then boom. And then that's just language. So that's the point of like, as a Virgo, being super detailed, it's all about like getting as many light tools as possible, letting as many thoughts and feelings impact you as Earth, because that's where all the wisdom is. So this is why Virgo is the most thoughtful sign, and that can be the most anxious, and is ruled by Mercury. So yeah, we're about to end that here actually. In part 3 of episode 5, we will continue Jayce Charles's rendition of how I possessed him and he died in a house fire, but not really, and it was all part of like an intergalactic mission to come rescue Earth. This dude wants to be worshipped. But it's like, but it's like this whole like fake story, like a whole story. Like I would want to see things about that. Again, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but the fact he's using my creation and my name and my spirit to do this, and like writing and creating so many things, and just pushing so many genuine lies about who I am, I can't help but be angry. Not at him, even. Like, I'm not about to make it personal with him. He's very well an agent. And that agent is an agent. And that agent could be an agent. And I could have a way bigger battle than with all those, like the 4 to 5 tiers of entities who are being manipulated for it to manifest physically in him actually writing all this to believe in it himself. Because it takes like a spectrum of convincing spirits through tiers to then convince other spirits, to convince other spirits, to convince other spirits, to convince other spirits. It's really hard to convince a spirit from like black to white. Like that's why a spirit really can't convince you of anything straight off the bat. Generally, we get convinced through being a convict, so through being a product of our environment, our cell, where we trapped in, example. So that's just where it's like all about communication, but not direct, face-to-face communication. Instead, for you to be like really convinced, like for example, if a musician's actually good, most people, in my experience, if a musician is actually good, they do not come to you and show you their music. So like if you're a musician and you're like, oh, okay, like I want this person to like my music, and you go to them and show them your music, a lot of the time they're not going to like it nearly as much than if they like actually just heard it on the radio, or if their friend played it for them and it was not you as the creator presenting it. Because there's a thing called ego. There's a thing called ego that gets people in the way of validating other people's egos. So the spirit, the ego, will get in its own way. So that's like the ego itself feels like if it's going to take something seriously, the egos around it need to also take something seriously or like it so it can feel comfortable liking it. So most people don't even know what music they like. They're literally just reacting to the music that is put out on the news. The news being the radio, the internet, whatever. Just the daily new stuff. New sounds, news. And then they're like, oh yeah, I like that. And then they might not even like it before, but if it keeps getting played in their environment, it can become an earworm and grow on them. That's a tale as old as this lifetime and just the music industry, as far as people listening to music and then having an earworm and not being able to get it out of their head. And then the idea of systemically programming music like the Black Eyed Peas, for example, or something, to be like so methodically and logically ear buggy and catchy, because that's just everything and awesome. That's what we like in music. A song that we can play over and over because it's a vibe. So yeah, this is very silly. We're about to end it here. Comedy, Jayce Charles, I love you. See you later. Yeah.